Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Let's Play Wario Land Shake It. And the reason for the speciality, the very specialness of this episode is that we are going to finish the game. And by finish the game, I of course mean finish the game in the same way that we have finished the many areas before the Quiver Cliffs. And by many, I mean four. The 4 full areas and the tutorial area, I suppose. So the 5? So let's get on with it. Let's finish some things with slipshod slopes, which, like the Murphle said, was the Murphle not going to say it now that I've clicked? There we go. It could be tough because it is hard to say slipshod slopes if your mouth works the way mine does. And it can also be tough because you must finish before the clock hits 140, beat the stage without taking damage, collect 65,000 coins, don't defeat any enemies, and defeat 5 enemies with icicles. We got contradicting missions, y'all, which we will of course handle with a second run, because that's the way you got to play this game. And I'm not going to get all hot and bothered about it because we've been playing this game for a while, and I'm not going to be like, oh, a stupid water treasure room can't beat the game all in one turn. I got to have multiple turns. So slipshod slopes. It's an icy level. It's a nicey level, which, you know, we're gonna have a good time because, you know, the music is nice. It's got some sleigh bells on in the background, so you know it's an ice level. You can see Aurora Borealis in the background because, you know, it's an ice level and it looks the nice ice level looks nice ice. And it's got these cute little cuties. Is the Pingoons, who I'm going to kill because we are going to don't defeat any enemies on our second playthrough of this level, the second turn, as I said earlier, because that's just the way I've decided to do it. But the penguin enemy, the Pingoon, such a good name for an enemy, because Pingoon, you know, it sounds like penguin, which is already good, but it also it doesn't, like, it sounds like someone saying Pingoon wrong, like, oh, a little Pingoon, like they're like a little baby saying Pingoon. So it's very cute, very good. I enjoy it. It's nice, but also it's a penguin who's a bad guy, so it's a Pingoon. It's cute. I enjoy it. It's a good enemy, y'all. That's all I'm saying. So another very special thing about this level is transformations. So we've seen Flaming Wario, and I told you this game has 3 to 4 transformations depending on your generosity, and we're going to see 2 of them. Well, one and then the one that is generous in this level. And the first one is what we've just seen. Snowman Wario. You know, we've seen Snowman Wario in previous Wario Land games, and it works the same. You let snow fall on you, but you do it by, you find these little branches, you do an Earthshake punch, and the snow falls down, and then you can find a slope, and you roll away, you turn into a ball. It works exactly the same as in other games, and you can, when you're a rolling ball, you can break the frozen blocks, frozen ice blocks, snowman block, whatever you want to call them. They have little snowflakes on them, so I'm just going to call them ice blocks, because that makes sense. I guess you could say snowflake block, but we're becoming a snowman. But okay, random criticism, but the snowman blocks, the best they ever were in Wario Land 3 when Snowman Wario was invented, and they had actual snowmen on them. That was super good. I don't remember if the ones in 4 have snowmen on them as well. I think they might, but that's also me just, you know, I really like Wario Land 4, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that it has that, even if it doesn't. And I've totally messed this up. Everything I could have possibly done there, done wrong. And also, this isn't important, but this ice block, there's like a dark blue section on the left that looks like a cat to me. I just noticed that, and I felt the need to point it out that I've noticed a cat, and damn it, I missed the yellow block again, but it's fine because we're gonna come in here. You just gotta beat I almost said snow block, the ice cube. Not wrong. I mean, it is more of a block because it's a video game ass block puzzle where you push a block. But you know, ice cube is funny. So I'm going to call it an ice cube instead. You push the ice cube. You beat it in a race. It does the thing, and I probably and I need to go back. Man, I did this room very incorrectly, and even at the end of this, I don't know if I'm gonna get that silver coin, because to get that silver coin, I would need to be like up here a little bit early. Yeah, I had a chance to get it, but I biffed it. I had several chances. What happens if? Okay, we're doing this one more time because I need to see what happens if you're on the other side of this. Whenever it finishes, like will it squish Wario vertically? Oh, just nothing. Okay, well. You know, this game has a lot of good animations. Like look at this animation of Wario slipping. I shouldn't have done that because then I could have gotten the stupid silver coin. You know, there's a lot of good animation in this game. I'm not going to get mad like, oh, they didn't make a side squishy animation. Because like I said in the last episode, Wario has over 2,000 frames of animation. Yes. Got silver coin. So I'm not going to be like, well, they didn't make 50 more so he could be squished vertically in this one very, like, edge case, harumph. Because the game looks nice. Look, you got Aurora Borealis in the background. So we can have a good time and the nice ice level, in which we're entering the nice ice cave. And in the nice ice cave, just like in Banjo-Tooie, there's icicles. And by like Banjo-Tooie, I mean any video game with icicles, you can knock them down, you can get on them. Unlike Banjo-Tooie, and unlike actually most games, and by most games I mean Banjo-Tooie and Majora's Mask, the first two games I thought of, with icicles you can knock down and then use as platforms. You knock them down, you use them like a platform. They eventually break, unlike in Banjo-Tooie and Majora's Mask. They break with time. You can also punch them if you're a little impatient, which of course we're not, because we're chill. And also, Aurora Borealis. It's probably biffed how you would probably say that, but that's fine because it's still a funny joke. So I will still, even if I biffed it, take credit for it. And is this our fifth enemy? Nope, not our fifth enemy at all, but it's fine because the enemies will have respawned in this other room. So we can come back here and we can just come down here and like, oh, hey, Bandit Arrow, goodbye, Bandit Arrow, and we've defeated 5 enemies with icicles. So I just wanted to do this one. I wanted to defeat 5 enemies with icicles first because it's fun to squish them with the icicles, and it'd be a little obnoxious to come back here and like, I'm gonna move them out of the way so we don't squish them, which is what you got to do for don't defeat any enemies. Also, there's a diamond and a map back here. So if you didn't think to come back here, hey, that's on you. And by that I mean it's actually pretty reasonable to think, oh, I shouldn't jump in that water because it's an ice level, and typically jumping in water in an ice cold place, bad, not good. But in this case, yes, good, not bad. Secret map, good, get for do so, yes. Also a pink penguin. Pink penguins are different. They shoot a couple times. They die a dog's death just like any other penguin. I should probably go check what's up there before I go ahead and roll up there, but we're just gonna go ahead and do this arrangement because you can't get up there because the slope will stop you. Like if you try to walk up the slope, you'll roll down and go the opposite direction like we saw. There's nothing over there, so you got to roll up here. You could become Snowman Wario and hop your way up here, but then you go up here and go, oh, there's nothing to do, and I kind of stood there for a second because I was trying to think about what I wanted to do. Because we saw a diamond up there. I'm sure that's for the Max Fastosity Dasherator, so we'll be getting it like on our way out. But I just wanted to make sure that you couldn't jump in this game, because in previous Wario Land games, as Snowman Wario, you could not jump. And these ices will turn you into Frozen Wario, which we haven't seen yet, because you take damage whenever you become Frozen Wario in this game, because it's not a real transformation anymore. At least I don't think. Like, okay, whenever these penguins shoot you, you take half a heart of damage, because that's, I think every enemy in the game does half a heart of damage, which makes you wonder why they just didn't make it a full heart of damage and then just double the amount of health you have. But that's just the way I think about things. But it's also, typical in video games. So like, oh, half heart, and then Zelda, sometimes you do quarter hearts, and I shouldn't have destroyed you because I could have used you to get up to that bouncing bag of gold, which I've never thought about before, that they bounce. There's nothing living in there, that's just currency. So that's a bit strange. Pink penguin, goodbye. Oh no, there's a block here. I was like once again thinking like, oh shoot, I should have like picked him up so we could jump off him. But there's a block here, so we can just go ahead and just use the block to complete the block puzzle, or the ice cube to complete the cube puzzle. To come down here and have a good time with our block that looks like a cat, which I will now I almost said for never unsee, but for never. Like, I was going to combine the words for and never, but even if you split them, for never unsee, it's still not grammatically correct. Okay, so what's happening here? We need to beat the stage in 140. We need to not get hurt on our way out. Although if we get hurt, it's not the end of the world, because, we have a second run of this level. And we need to collect 2 diamonds on our way out, which, well, I mean, we don't need specifically 2 diamonds. We need, just a bit short of 20,000 coins. I was trying to say 20,000, but my mouth was saying 12. So, well, actually, 12, it would be 17, and then I made myself do the math because I felt bad about my mouth not working correctly. But, what I'm trying to say is there's 2 diamonds on the way out, which is why I said 2 diamonds, not that we need 65,000 coins. There's 2 diamonds on the way out. We're all good in the hood. There's going to be no problems whatsoever. So, Slipshot Slopes, pretty good level, it's fun, you come in here, and there's nothing, like, revolutionary in here. You got sliding ice blocks, you got your Snowman Wario, which we've seen in previous Wario Land games. Not a whole like bunch of new like scary concepts in here. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of like terribly new and unique concepts throughout the entirety of this game in terms of like what the game does, but it does them all very well. And also we got an item called Hot Dog, which is a dog that is a hot dog, which, you know, it's an old joke, but it's always a wiener. And I realized I couldn't make that pun when I, like, halfway through that sentence, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking going for it. But, you know, we got a secret map in that level. What I was trying to say is Aurora Robialis. Very good. Can't say it correctly because I'm a dummy dum-dum. And then I do the head knock anime tongue out thing. Because I'm Kawaii or Genki. I think it's the Genki that does that. Oh wait, no, I need to not destroy enemies. Not give up. Retry. I forgot entirely what I was saying. Slip slide slopes. It's good. So now we need to abscond. We need to abscond. Oh, that's interesting. This does not matter at all. But whenever whenever the game goes into the not loading screen, whenever Wario stops running and kind of like lags a bit, it goes to 0 frames per second on my emulator, which I just found that interesting, that it actually is like, oh, the game is kind of like chugging, trying to load, so it like kind of stops for a moment, and no frames are occurring. Okay, so we just need to not defeat any enemies. So I just want to show you. There's Frozen Wario. There he blows. So not a real transformation in this game. It doesn't have any like things. It doesn't do any things. Like, you just get hit, you take damage, which is antithetical to a true transformation, because Wario does not take damage whenever he enters a transformed state. You know, you light yourself on fire, you don't take any damage. And actually, how are we going to do this? Because I need to knock this block out of the way, but there are 3 pingoons on the other side of it. So how do I not... If I just chill over here, just, you know, wait a moment, will it just slide out of the way and like not destroy anything? Like, okay, yeah, cool, that worked. I wasn't sure if that would work. Oh yeah, because they only pop out of the ground whenever you're there anyways. So maybe if you hit it and, you know, they were like abandoned arrow or something, maybe it would have counted as you destroying them. But, you know, that's not the case here. And so the whole reason I wanted to show like this level basically in its entirety is because this level is a bit strange. Like, how you do what you do with this guy to make him not get broken by that. And what you got to do, you got to be a little sneaky with it. You got to break the icicle before, you know, you do the thing, because you can't pick up the Bumble Prod. You cannot bully the Bumble Prod out of your way. So you got to treat them gently. Oh wait,
It's Rainbow Road, it's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle.
I'm not entirely sure what went wrong here. I assume that's what I did wrong. I didn't get the Bumble Prod out of the way. I stunned him, and then I probably just crushed him anyways, because like, yeah, you gotta get the Bumble Prod out of the way, but you can't pick him up. So you gotta be careful about it. Like, how are we gonna do? Like, how do we get this little guy? Oh, you know what we do with this little guy? We bounce off this little. Oh, no, you can't bounce off. Well, we'll just continue to just lightly bully him out of the way, which we can do by like just, you know, stunning him, and then we'll give him a little hop, and then we'll hurt ourselves on him, which doesn't matter. Are you out of the way? I'm not sure if he'll be considered out of the way, so I'll give him one more round of quick hops just to get him out of the way, because. Just total brain fart. Like, I was so confused when I like looked down. I was like, wait, how do we fail the thing? Like, I didn't move out of the way because you can't pick up the Bumble Prod, so you gotta be careful with the Bumble Prod. And that was basically the entire reason I played the entirety of this level again. Was just to show y'all, like, hey, you gotta be gentle with that Bumble Prod. You can't be a big dummy idiot like somebody I am, and you gotta be careful about it. Also, speaking of being careful. So this area is a bit mean, because we got this pink boy. This pink boy, he craves death. He's in between 2 slopes, which if I hit incorrectly, he will die. So I need to either jump up there and knock him up there. And actually, if I hop up on this, will you just chill up here? He's trying to. Oh, look, he's stuck digging because he can't dig under the ground. So he's just stuck digging. If I hit this, will he die? Please don't die when I hit this. I don't know why I was trying to do it gingerly, like I could do it any less hard than the game will like it, because, you know, if hitting the block would kill him, the fact that I was gingerly tapping the button, that wasn't going to make a difference. But in my mind, I was like, oh, I got to be so careful with that boy. I got to be very, very careful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get hit by this, just because, you know, these freeze you, and they actually freeze you differently than the penguins. You actually slip and slide away, and you don't take damage, which, going back to the thought that I was trying to have, and then I interrupted myself because, once again, the big dummy I am, I did the thing. What am I trying to say? It slips like previous Wario Land games, but it doesn't really matter all that much, because even if, like, in the next, even if, oh, you have to use block to get there. You can't even bounce off him if you're quick on the draw. Oop, nope. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, we've already been hurt. Even if you're quick on the draw, what am I going to do, actually? Where am I going to leave? Oh, I guess I don't have to knock block back, so that's fine. What am I trying to say? Even if the next area has a Frozen Wario arrangement, it's not like it's going to be any different. And I believe I said that our first time through. So Frozen Wario, not a real transformation to me in this video game. It gets the distinction of being the blink or blank, depending. It's the electric Wario of the video game, where it's just a reaction and doesn't do anything. And I will stick by that. I'm going to just put my foot down, even if in the next ice level, because, you know, there's oh, I need to not slip down that, otherwise I'll kill the pink penguin. So we just need to take it nice, take it easy, take it breezy, and just continue onwards, because now we can just slip down here. We don't have to be dashing, because we can just slide on and just be careful. I didn't take the Max City Dasherator because I wasn't too worried about getting out of here quickly, and didn't want to, like, you know, have to worry about, like, jumping over things, because that's how you get 47-minute ropey jungles. And we're just gonna, you know, take it easy. We have plenty of time to get out. And in fact, I've like completely. I normally keep my thumb on both the 1 and 2 buttons, so I can hit either as I please. But I've just completely removed my finger off of the 1 button and just completely using 2. And also, random thought, and I hope I got all my thoughts out during this level, because I had a lot of thoughts and I felt like I kept interrupting myself. I just realized in the middle of playing this that this video game doesn't use the A or B buttons on the Wiimote. Like, the A button, I can see why, because you got your left, or well, left or right, depending on how you hold the Wiimote. But you have one of your thumbs on the D-pad, so you can't really easily access A and the D-pad. Like, it's not too hard, but you do have to take your hand off of take your thumb off the D-pad to go to A. So I get why they don't use A. It's actually interesting that they don't use B, because the way I hold it, my finger's right on the B button. It could probably be used for something, but maybe be a little uncomfortable is why they don't. Now that we have slided away, sloped away, bad manner, which we must finish before the clock hits 150. Beat the stage without taking damage. Collect 55,000 coins. Pound down all the push buttons, and don't defeat any enemies. So bad manner. We're going to have a great old time, because, hey, it's a spooky level, and I love the spooky levels. I love the spooky time of year. It's fun. It's good. I love the spooky, creepies, the horror themes. It's always fun. It's always good. And bad manner, I made like a great symbol with my hand, like where you do like, okay, because it's good, and I like it. The music's fine. This is maybe like my least favorite song in the game, if I had to say so. Just because it's, you know, there's better creepy music songs. Like, it's just kind of like a generic, like, creepy castle theme. Like, there's not much going on for it, which is probably the only time I'll say that in this video game. Let's go ahead and just make sure that I've just pound it down. So it's good, it's cool, but the name Bad Manner, so good. It's maybe my favorite level name in the entire video game. It's a great pun. Only way it could be better if it was called Bad Manners, and there was another one, which unrelated thought, and especially since there's something very important that we need to talk about that just happened. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon should have been called Luigi's Mansions, because there's multiple mansions in that video game. And I just wanted to get that thought out. And actually, we are going to need the help of those bandaneros to hit the blue switch that we saw, so we can, you know, continue onwards and maybe talk about just rocketed him off. I was gonna say rocket him off to hell, but that's the other way. Hell's the other way. So I sent him to anti-hell, otherwise known as space, which is its own kind of hell. So anti-hell, you know, maybe appropriate, because it's like, you know, the opposite. Well, the opposite of hell. Not important. I rocketed him off to hell. That's all there is to say about that, because there's something important that happened. And that's, these enemies are called mummers. They burp at you whenever you do the earth shake punch. They become naked and they shaky, and it's cute. And I like it. I enjoy it. It's nice. We'll go ahead and continue to not talk about the important thing, because we have to do a Flame and Wario arrangement. And by Flame and Wario arrangement, it's the most bare bones one. You just need to realize, hey, you touch a thing 3 times and then you light yourself on fire. So you can come back here and find the mini barrel, and we can finally talk about Mini Wario, which is a new transformation to this. Well, yeah, transformation. It's a transformation in this video game that's not normally in Wario Land games. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about it first. So it's called Mini Wario. Previously, there were transformations like it called Tiny Wario and Wario Land 1 in Virtual Boy, in which that was just Wario's default state. If you didn't have like a power-up and you didn't have a hat and weren't Wario, you would be Tiny Wario when you're like one hit away from dying. But in Wario Land 2, there was a wizard who would curse you, a pirate wizard goom. I'm not sure about its name. It was just 2 pirate gooms in a trench coat. Well, not a trench coat, a wizard coat, which is very good. I enjoyed that a lot. And we need a bandanaire to throw at that guy. Will you come back to me so I can bounce off you so I don't have to push up the pound push again, because I want to keep them all pushed down, because I think we can do this all in one run. I have in my notes saying that we should do that in our second run. And I was worried for a second that he fell in the water, but we're not doing don't defeat any enemies yet. We'll do that in the second run. Not that I've been defeating enemies. I don't know why it took till now for me to be like, oh no, I shouldn't defeat them. Where do I want to shake this? Maybe right about here. Some coins might get lodged in the little hole. Luckily it didn't. I was worried about that. But yeah, in Wario Land 2, you had a transformation where you'd become Tiny Wario, and you were a little bit faster and you could jump a little bit higher, and you were like a smaller version of Wario, and it was cool. And that transformation has been out of the games since Wario Land 2. But in this video game, Wario Land Shake It, they sort of brought it back with Mini Wario. Now, Mini Wario is, you don't jump higher. In fact, you might jump less good. Oh, actually, there's something very important I want to show at the mummer, so I'm actually going to let him recover. And the important thing is, you can only defeat them whenever they're naked and shaky. Whenever you try and hit them like this, you just knock them over. I love knocking them over from the back. They look so surprised. It's very cute. Enjoy it a lot. Because now we want to come over here, use the pitchfork to be able to hop. We actually might have been able to hop off of the mummer. Not entirely sure. And we get King Dedede's hammer, which is very cool and good. But going back to Mini Wario, because we have a lot to talk about Mini Wario. Oh, and we did a heightened ground pound accidentally. It's just small. Use it to get through small like crevices. There's not too terribly much going for it. It's pretty basic in terms of being a transformation. I'm actually not sure what we're gonna do with this bag of money, because I wanted a money out of it, but if I shake it against this wall, a lot of it's gonna go bouncing into the spikes. And okay, if money falls into the spikes and we need to jump down for it, actually that's not that much money. I was worried more money would fall into the spikes. I was like, well, we'll just not get hurt in our second run. It'll be fine. But no, that was acceptable. That was an acceptable loss, I believe. I don't actually know how much money that we need to continue like onwards, like what our minimum should be before we hit the checkpoint. But it's whatever. It's fine. I'm not too worried about it. But Mini Wario, and it's relevant to talk about again because there's another one here. It's just small. Use it to go through small things. There's not much more to it than that. It's pretty bare bones. But there is some fun facts about it. So it's just called Mini Wario, and it's called the Mini Barrel. But internally, those mini barrels are referred to like, and by internally, I think that means like in the files for the video game, they're referred to as Gulliver tunnels, like as in Gulliver's Travels, because in Gulliver's Travels, Jack Black finds a rate, and Jack Black did a Gulliver's Travels movie. Gulliver finds like I hope it's Gulliver. It's been so long since I've thought about Gulliver's Travels. But main person, who I'm assuming is Gulliver, finds a race of little people called little Pushins, little Pushins. In Gravity Falls, they're called little Putchins, little putt, because they're like mini golf people. But I think they're called little Pushins. And they're just like a race of little people. And the idea is, hey, you're becoming a little person. And maybe the reason they decided to call it a mini Wario is because they're like, hey, Zach can't say little Pushin, so we shouldn't call it Gulliver, because he also can't say Gulliver, so we shouldn't call it the Gulliver Tunnel, because then he won't be able to say it, and then he won't be able to talk about it in his very cool, good Let's Play of our very cool and good game. And that would be a shame. It would be a shame if you couldn't talk about our game. So they called it the Mini Wario Mini Barrel instead of the Gulliver Tunnel and Little Washin, Wallaputian, which would be bad because that invokes the one whose name I don't like to say. Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh dang it! There's a treasure in there. There's a treasure in there that always gets me. That's fine because we're doing a second run of this level anyways. Man, that's a shame. I'm totally blanked on it, which I even went and set it up so we could do it, and then just didn't do the ding dang thing. And it's funny because this treasure, I always forget about it, and I'm like gesturing wildly at the screen. Which might be bad because I might just end up doing the Wiimote thing where I let go of it when I was making fun of people. And by making fun of it, I was like, oh, well, so a lot of people weren't used to it. And, a lot of people don't play video games, so it was, having a firm grip on a remote might be, not call that like. Oh, like why? Oh, why would I need to grip it firmly? It's, you know, if you're just used to TV remotes, it's fine. We already talked about this, but Lil Washin, Walloputian, who knows what they would have called it, but they didn't. They went with Mini Wario, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But now we just need to not destroy any enemies. So we're just gonna make friends with our friends. Oh, I was concerned. Like, wait, where's the band and arrows? But the band and arrows only come up if you push it down. We can just stun you. I was trying to dodge you for a second, but oh, you know what we could actually do? I'm gonna try and jump off him. See if we can jump off him. I don't think you can. I think you can't jump off him. You got to do the pitchfork thing on the previous area. It's not like it's a big deal. I tend to cut out like these like second runs like up to the Murphles, but these levels are actually pretty short if you like know what you're doing. So it's not not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't land in the thing. The treasure that we need is actually just back there. And what happens when I drop you on spikes? Do you die? Yeah, you just die. Which I should have assumed, because whenever you hit a money bag, they just break. But you know, you never know. I can't believe I forgot that treasure, because I have a thing here in my notes talking about the stupid treasure. And I was going to move you out of the way, but it's not a big deal because we're going to be exiting the room. I had a thing in this notes like, hey, don't forget about the treasure, because I was going to talk about this treasure, because it's like, this treasure, for some reason, just always slips my mind. Like, because you come into this room, and you see the small area like, oh, okay, I need to become small to like get through there. But then you're like, if you're like me, your brain becomes fixated on the stupid bag of money and you forget about the thing. And you forget to come back here and unleash Pandora's box. They put Pandora's box in another box because Pandora's box, historically, a dangerous box. So this one always gets me, and I feel like that was the developer intent. Like, oh, I need to become little. And by the time you actually get to the little thing, even though it's like 20 seconds away, you've already forgotten about it. Oh, and you can't do the Earthshake punch whenever you're little. I didn't know that. I'm glad I experimented, because I actually didn't know that, because you don't really have too much of a need to do it whenever ye big, or ye little, I should say, when you're a Walloputian, who, once again, invoking the name of the one that, you know, not a big fan of that guy. But it's fine. So we'll just continue onwards, and I've moved the short fuse out of the way, because as you saw, we're going to blow ourselves out of a cannon, and we're going to blow ourselves the hell out of this cannon. We're going to fly all the way up, and if we had done that, we would have destroyed the short fuse, and we would have been sad, because I defeated an enemy at some point. What did I defeat me? Oh, damn it. I didn't even notice that I defeated an enemy.
It's rainbow.
Okay, so now I'm back here. I haven't defeated any enemies. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but at some point, I killed an enemy, and that was unfortunate. Luckily, I noticed before we made it to the end of the level, because I would have been ashamed to get to the very, very end and be like, oh, what the hell happened? Okay, so there is actually a sneaky secret map in this level that you can only get if you go the other direction. So when we came through here, we went. I didn't do a big ground pound, and you don't do a big ground pound, so you can go back there and hit that Gulliver Tunnel, so you become the Little Washin. So you can get up into that small area, and that small area is important because, you know, there's the Max Fast Velocity Dash Raider, which you use to speed up the level in time, and also to hit the money thing. And I really love that bottom area where there's like all the money, and you know, there's all the money down there, and it's like the sewer of the area. It's very cool. And actually, wait, I need to stop. Oh no, that's bad. I needed to actually stop up there. I couldn't remember where the map was, and then I just forgot to get it, because I was like, I think the map's up ahead, and then like I was like, oh yeah, the map's here, and you know, by the time I was turning, it was too late. But it's fine. You know, sometimes, you know, things don't go perfectly. Sometimes you accidentally defeat an enemy and you're not exactly sure where, and you're very curious to see in editing when it happened. But yeah, you gotta do the big ground pound down here if you want to do this segment, because otherwise you'll be forced to go the other way and have to do the Gulliver Tunnel bit, which, you know, I prefer that exit route, but you know, we gotta come this way for a secret map, and for actually, wait, where is the secret map? Back here. I think it was in the area that we were in previously, but, you know, no reason to be, you know, I was going to say uncareful, but that's not exactly a word. We might as well just, like, pound in a few of these areas, because I think it is up there, but, you know, they could have put it down here, and that would have been very rude, because then you would come up here and you wouldn't be running. Or, you know, you come up there and you couldn't go back down through those, like, one-way platforms, semi-solid platforms, as Mario calls them. I've always called them, like, thin platforms or something. Something to that degree. That's where you'd see the Pandora's box as you fly by, and then you'd be like, oh no, I screwed up, I did it bad. But you know, today we're not doing it bad, so we'll be getting out with our treasure. We'll be getting out without defeating any enemies, which I have no clue how that happened, but it's fine. I'm not concerned about it. I'm just glad I noticed before the end of the world, and that would have been sad, because the world would have ended. And look, even with all that screwing around, we still have a minute in time to get out of here, and we have not defeated any enemies. No enemies? Any enemies? Nah. None were defeated. Don't defeat any. And we did not. We did not defeat an enemy. That was the joke I was trying to make, but wasn't sure how to get it across, so I just kept saying it over and over again, hoping at some point I would emphasize it in some way that would make what I was saying make any sense whatsoever. I hope you ordered a large episode, because it's time to face the world-famous Large Fry, who has an appetite for destruction. So we're going to go ahead and Large Fry cook-off. We're going to do a good boss fight, in which we're going to supersize this episode, since we've had 2 long levels already, and now we're going to have a boss fight, and spoilers, another boss fight after this one. So Large Fry Cook-Off, we're supersizing me, which instead of doing Bad Science, it's not Supersize Me, the Bad Science movie. It's instead, well, Bad Science and also like a bunch of like fat shaming garbage, but it was Supersize Me Daddy, in which we celebrate the thick-daddies known as Wario, Large Fry, and I suppose Shaking. Shaking is also a thick-daddy, so we're going to have some fun with some thick-daddies. But that's what you do with thick-daddies. You have a good old fun time with them. So Large Fry is a boss fight I enjoy a lot. It honestly might be one of my favorite boss fights in the Wario Land series. It's just a good, very Wario-y boss fight in which we gotta throw this damn thing, the band and arrow, into He-Mouth to feed him, because he's a hungry boy and he craves to be fed. He wants to eat, so we're gonna feed him. He's a big boy and he hungry, so we're gonna go ahead and just throw a band and arrow in his mouth. And we'll go ahead and do that. And when you do that, he produces a bomb. You throw the bomb into his mouth. And he wants to eat, but he didn't want to eat that one, because then you punch him in his tummy and he gets hurt. And that's how the boss fight goes. Now, where the difficulty from this boss comes in, you can probably tell, it can get a little chaotic, because he's going to end up spawning in a lot of enemies. So if you're not careful, too many enemies will be spawned in, and then it'll get a little chaotic. You can mitigate this by just punching those bags instead of opening them, which they can be opened by shaking them, or shaking them or doing an earth shake punch will open them. He starts doing homing carrot missiles, which are pretty good. So the difficulty of the boss fight, I wanted to move that band and arrow out of the way so he wouldn't just squish it. Where the difficulty for this boss fight comes in is as you get farther and farther into the boss fight, you'll start spawning in more offensive enemies. So enemies that can hurt you. So instead of band and arrows, now we have the nose dozers, who could walk up and poke us in our eye and deal some damage to us. And also, as you get farther in the boss fight, he starts requiring to be fed more. So enemies get spawned in, it gets hectic. Another part where the boss fight gets hard is the window to get things into his mouth. It can be surprisingly a little tight. Because he'll open his mouth, and then if you don't do it quick enough, he'll start glowing. When he's glowing like that, you cannot feed him. So you just gotta be careful. And he's spawning a lot of enemies. And oh damn, he spawned in a recapitator, which is a difficult enemy. So you gotta kill it twice basically. That's all there is to it really. But I was actually surprised we didn't see him in Bad Manor. I suppose they only show up in the Bad Manor alternate level version. He dashes across the screen when he goes green like that. So you just gotta learn how the boss fight goes. I really enjoy this boss fight. I think it's fun. I enjoy the boss a lot. It's good. I love his design. He has scary eyes and the scary one who will not be named mustache. But I like his design. He looks good. He plays good. He's like a big band and arrow, which is nice to see, because it's assumedly the things that we're fighting are the members of the Shake King's crew. So if a band and arrow is... Oh, and since he's glowing, we can't feed him, but unfortunately I had already... I'd either already hit 2, or my brain had already told my finger to hit 2, so it was too late. Regardless of what was happening, it was too late. Oh no, this is too many guys on screen. Let's go ahead and just destroy some guys so they don't bounce into us. Oh, and this is going to be a problem. Here, let me shake quick, because since the yellow band and arrow jumps up and down, he would have kept bouncing up and down and bounced straight into Large Fry as he was... Oh shit, since he was coming down, he couldn't eat. I didn't even think about that. That's unfortunate, so now he's got to wait again. I don't even remember what... I like his design. He's like a big band and arrow. It's good. I like the boss fight. That's all I was really saying. But that's all that thought was really going. It was never really going anywhere other than that. I think we fed him enough to spit out a bomb. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and... Let's go... Nope. I thought that... I wasn't sure if that would go in his mouth, and that's unfortunate, because now we'll need to refeed him again. I don't know why I thought to crouch under the... I don't know why I thought to crouch under the missiles, but that worked surprisingly well, and that was unfortunate. For a second, I thought the nose dozer was going to be the problem child there, but no, the problem child was, as always, me. So we just continue onwards. We got a bunch of safe guys over here. The recapitator cannot throw very far. let's go ahead and just duck. Hopefully the short fuse won't shoot us while we're in the duck state. Oh, his head's gone. I'm not sure what he would do with his head gone, if he would just stay like that or if he would spawn in a new head somehow. Not entirely sure. We've already fed you once, I think? No, we have not fed you once. Okay, so yeah. Since he spat out a bomb, he reset his counter. So let's go ahead and get the bomb in his mouth appropriately this time, and we're good. So this boss can be beaten a lot quicker and a lot safer, which maybe one day we will need to utilize, by abusing his first form. In his first form, like when he's the little large fry, before you injure him, he only requires like to be fed one enemy to produce a bomb. So the kind of trick to beating him is to create a lot of bombs in that first phase and then just kind of beat the crap out of him without having to worry about like him spawning in things. And that's the quick way to beat him, and it's also like the safe way to beat him. So you're probably gonna want to abuse that cool tips and tricks I have let y'all know about. Let's go ahead and just duck. Hopefully none of these guys will destroy me while I'm duck. We'll go ahead and stun them again because I think he comes in with... Oh no, he comes for a second pass. And I heard the noise and I knew it was coming, but did not react to it fast enough. Let's go ahead and just jump out of the way. And he should be in an eating mood right now. I think we need to feed him one more. I'm not sure if he goes up 2-3 for this last hit. So the quick thing to do is spawn in a lot of bombs. You can put out the bomb by doing the Earth Shake Punch, or not Earth Shake Punch. While you're holding the bomb, if you shake the bomb, you'll put it out, and then you can just store up a lot of bombs and just kind of knock the crap out of him without having to worry about like the kind of later stages of the fight. So I really enjoy Large Fry Cook-Off. I think it's a fun boss fight. Just once again, music's good, the design good, it looks nice, and it's a fun boss fight where, you know, boss fights with like lots of enemies spawning in, like if the boss is just like, oh, there's a bunch of enemies and it's not really a boss, BioShock 2, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, it's kind of lame. But that's a fun boss fight where the boss just keeps spawning in more and more enemies and it gets super hectic. And luckily for us, when he does his smash move, he'll squish the enemies, which will defeat them. So he even helps you like kind of clear the field as well. So it's not completely unfair. Also, none of the enemies aside from the Recapitator are all that difficult to destroy. But with that, we have acquired all of the boss emblems, which will allow us to find the Shakedown Schooner, the base, the ship. What is a ship but a base for a pirate of the Shake King? Like Captain Syrup told us, you need to find all the boss emblems to do the thing, to do the damn thing, to find the man himself. You gotta find all the boss emblems. You can't just go beat the final area and continue onwards. So, even though the game could be played non-linearly, there's not too much of a point to doing that. You should probably just, go area 1 through 5 in order, because otherwise you might end up doing something you regret. I don't know why I said it that way. But now it is time for our final encounter with Captain Syrup's Pirate Shop. We can come in here and Murfle Plurfle time to Sherple, which I hope that's what I said last time. I mean, there was also like the used cars salesman pitch, which I don't remember. But it's fine, because we're going to come in here and purchase our heart vessel. Oh, and actually, this isn't our last encounter with it. I thought it would be funny to be like, oh, we're about, and then go to the shop. But actually, there's one more thing we need to purchase here, which is currently sold out, but maybe she'll get it in stock later. Because we've acquired all of the heart vessels that Captain Syrup has to offer. She had like 5. She had 5 entire hearts. This pirate has stolen so many hearts, and she assumedly still has one inside of her, like, anime. She's like, it's weird that they made... Okay, actually, I didn't want to talk about this early on, but like, I always thought it was weird when I started playing this game. Like, oh, she's like a weird, like, big titty anime girl now. But looking at like her old art, she's kind of always been a big titty anime girl. But you don't really get that in the Wario Land 1, Wario Land 2 sprites. But I guess Captain Syrup was always a big titty anime girl. But we will be returning to our shop to purchase that last thing that's there. But we can't do it just yet. But what we can do just yet, and I actually didn't need to press 1 again, because we're going to go back in there. No more fake outs. We're going in, and we're going to go in for our true final encounter. Final encounter with the Shake King. You stand before the Shake King. Tremble, tremble. I assume he's like, tremble, tremble, in like some big scary pirate voice. But it's better if it's just, you stand before the Shake King. Tremble, tremble. So we'll just instead say that. And he doesn't get some fun, Hot Roderick race, Large Fry Cook-Off. No, this is just versus Shake King. It's time to battle the big bad himself. And we get all our Murfle friends to come and help us open the gate, even though it doesn't matter the amount of Murfles you save, because the amount of Murfles you have to save a certain amount of Murfles to open the door anyways. And even if we got more from the bonus levels, there would just be more Murfles in there. But with all the boss emblems we've acquired, we can finally face the big man, the other big man himself, the Shake King. And because we defeated his generals, the boss emblems we've acquired, we can remove his scary aura, which is what I assume rendered him invulnerable to us whenever he would show up in the, times up segment of the level. He just totally ran over me. I did not jump over him. I did a bad job at playing this video game, which is fine, Sometimes you just play badly. And I love this fight. I know I said I really like the large fry cook-off, and I had to think about it. I really do like the large fry cook-off, but this boss fight has something going for it, which is the Shake King has your powers. He can shake. He can grab you. You can shake money out of him, which is cool as hell. But you can also be shaked by him. You can lose your cashola for your bankroller. It's such a good boss fight. It's always fun whenever you have a boss fight in a video game against someone who is similarly powered to you. Like, obviously, the Shake King has a bit more going on for him because, he has all these crazy pirate magic that he's doing. I don't want to land on him. Oh, I thought it would hurt us because he has a spiked helmet thing, but it's fine. So the secret to the Shake King is that he's also weak to shaking. A lot of his moves can be interrupted by doing an Earth Shake Punch. Like that big bandonero move he did, we could have interrupted with an Earth Shake Punch, but that you tried to do the same thing, but with the Bumble Prod, and you can just stop it with the thing. I'm gonna try and not to abuse it just so we can show off some of his moves, but like I'm pretty sure you can stop most of his moves. Like we've already seen this. We can stop it. I should probably let him do it, but you can stop so many of his moves with the shake. So the Shake King also weak to being. Oh, I need to punch him in his butt. I wanted to pick him up, but you got to punch him in his butt before you can pick him up. My brain was working backwards, but it's fine, It's a hectic time. And also, I love the screen of the boss fight where you get to see the Robo Bandoneros in the background, which I don't know if is to imply that the Bandoneros are robots or if he was making like big scary ones. And I suppose I'll let you spawn on your Bumble Prod so we can jump over it just so we can see it. And I like the big robot Shake King in the background, which makes me think that at one point in development, maybe part of the boss fight involved a big scary robot, which we're not worried about. We can worry about that later, because right now we're worried about just throwing him into things and stealing his money. I just love that you can shake money out of the final boss. It's so good. I kind of wish more of the bosses let you like shake them, but if you're only going to be able to shake one of them, thank God it was the Shake King. I'm so glad that you can shake the one who shakes. It's great. I love this boss fight a lot. It's a great boss fight. I had to think about it because I really like Large Fry Cook-Off because it's very like Wario, but this is just an encounter that we have never gotten a boss fight that's like, oh, you were fighting someone who's so like you in a Wario Land game. So it's just fun to fight the Shake King. It's great. And there's Queen Merelda, so we've come to save her. But as you can see, the Shake King, he's still got some HP. He's not done with the fight. He's not done with the fight at all, because it's time for Phase 2 of the boss fight, in which I stopped liking the fight as much. Because like I was saying, I love the Shake King because it's like, oh, you're fighting someone who's so similar to you. But here's where he gives up the ghost and like kind of like, I mean, he still does a lot of the same stuff where he's going to run into things, and now he's going to run into the side of the screen, and you can't really see where he's stuck into, but he's stuck into something, assumedly. And we can still, like, throw him into shit. Like, it's fine, but I like this stage. I don't like this part of the boss fight as much because I find it a little lame because it's like he starts doing this, like I mean, it is cool. It is visually cool, and it's like, oh shit, he's doing like lasers and stuff now. It's scary, and he seems very powerful. But I kind of wish he had done more shaking, like as part of his like final boss fight, like this final stage, just because like once he starts like doing like all of these like electric balls and shit, it's just like, well, this isn't. Why are you if your final power isn't like shaking based? Why are you the Shake King? Like I wish he was like maybe this would have been too hard to animate, or maybe just I've seen too much anime, but if he like grabbed the fabric of reality and shook it, if he was just like shaking reality, that would rule. That'd be so cool. And oops, I landed on him, and I'm about to die to this boss fight. And we are not anywhere near, like as you can see, he has a lot of health left in the tank. And so like this is still, it's a difficult like phase of the boss fight. And it's not like, I don't mean to say like, oh, it's so easy. I just wish it was more thematically appropriate to the Shake King, is basically all I wanted to say about that. Also, I hate this, like, the stupid, like, they just have, like, this, like, scary ambiance in the background. Like, there isn't, like, a theme. Like, why doesn't he have a second stage? Like, why doesn't he have a second stage to his music? And when I was playing this LP, I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously going to edit some music in. Oh, and I got hit. So we died, and hey, we got to see the death animation. Do you start from the beginning of the fight, or do you start from the second phase? I do not remember anymore. I mean, yeah, you just start from the beginning, so I'll meet you in the second phase of the boss fight. I'm glad we were able to see me die at least once in the game, because the Shake King is pretty difficult. I find him to be a decently difficult boss. And there we go, back to the second boss fight with full health. Oh, second phase of the boss fight, it's not exactly a new boss, but y'all understand. Which you want to come into this boss fight with as much health as possible, because I find the second half to be much more difficult, which, like, I know I was giving the boss crap, like, oh, I don't like it because it's not the map, but it is a good fight, like, it is a good boss fight. I still do like it. Oh, I wanted to shake him there. Not that we really need the money, but it's just so satisfying to shake the crap out of the Shake King. It's so good, and I just love getting the money. It's very good. And I find this stage of the boss fight to be a good boss fight. Just, I wish thematically, he did some more shaking. Like, perhaps, like, the reason I brought up that robot was like, oh, maybe he could have gotten into the big robot and done, like, some big shakes with his big robot or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just, like, I like big robots, so I'm like, oh yes, he should do something with the big robot. And there was no way of getting out of that. Like, I should have just eaten an attack from one of the electric balls, which I ultimately ended up doing, because if he shakes you, it deals more damage than the ball would have. But I wasn't using me noodle, but it's fine. Sometimes you just don't use your noodle. But I just the big kicker, the thing that makes me go, I'm just not sure about this boss fight. Which, like as a whole, I think it's a good boss fight. But about this phase is just the no music, and I don't understand why there isn't any music. I don't know if it was like a development thing, like they ran out of money and couldn't commission another song. If it just was like this part of the boss fight wasn't exactly planned and they didn't have another song for it, and they didn't want to just keep playing the Shake King theme for whatever reason. That's what I don't understand. Like, why don't they just play the Shake King theme? If they couldn't get a new song, why didn't they just keep the Shake King theme going? Because that's better than nothing. Like, as much as I would love, like, hey, there should be another unique cool song here, because I love the soundtrack for the game. It's just, oh shoot, I should have countered that one, because that is a move you absolutely want to counter, because when he dashes at you, he does that shake, and if you get shaken, it's gonna hurt, and you lose all your money, and it's embarrassing. But also because, like, if you counter whenever he's trying to Earthshake punch you stun him immediately, and that's how you can clock some real damage on this guy, is by stunning him. Oh, nope. My brain was not working, and hopefully we still get a chance to shake him, because I would like some more money. No, he just, he did have some more money left in him. And I shouldn't be throwing him up like that. I keep throwing him up like that because I was like, oh, I need to get the money that's underneath him. But it's better to throw him straight into the wall, because then you can get a couple more punches on him. And I don't know if you do that, if it lowers the amount of cycles you ultimately have to do. But it makes sense in my mind that you probably want to be clocking damage as often as you can. Oh, and I should stop that instead of letting him spawn in some more fireballs, because having the fireballs bounce around while he's also doing his electric balls, probably not great to have all those balls bounce around on screen at the same time. Oh, no, I couldn't stun him in time, which means he's going to get me, because I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid. No, I was able to avoid it, luckily. I was unfortunately not able to get off the parry, because if we got off that parry, that would have been sweet. And let's make a ground pound. We can jump over the shockwaves. It's no big ish, and he's going into his dash. You think he would have learned by now? Like, hey, this isn't working out for me. But no one ever does. Oh, and that actually worked out very badly for me. So hey, that's a point for you, Shake King. So when I was planning this LP, I was honestly trying to figure out, like, should I play music during the segment, since there's not a boss theme here? And I decided for this first fight against him, not like there's another phase of this boss fight or anything. This is it. Spoilers. But if we were to whatever reason have to fight him again, that I would maybe edit some music over it. But I wanted to give you all the true experience of this game, and not like, not to say like improve it like it's a bad game. It needs improving, but I didn't want to change the experience that y'all would get from your first playthrough. Even though you should probably play the game instead of watch me play it. It's available on the Wii. It's not a hard find. It's relatively inexpensive of a game. You find it in most game stores. I tend to see it a lot. Oh, and there we go. We've defeated him. It's also available on the Wii U eShop if you saw that hooked up, and if they haven't canceled it yet. And there you go. There's the Shake King. I think he's a good boss fight. Even the second half that I gave crap, still think it's very good. And with that, we've saved the day. We've defeated the Shake King and liberated the Shake Dimension. And it seems like Captain Syrup and the Merfolk have had a deal of some sort. But we probably shouldn't worry about that, because look at all the happy Merfolks dancing around, having a good time. We've saved that one island specific. Who knows which one it is? Doesn't matter. We use the warp to return to our world. But first, we have some business with Queen Merelda. The ending of Wario Land Shake It is one of the greatest endings of any video game ever. It's so good. Queen Merelda starts the whole, like, Princess Peach, like, oh, thank you, brave hero. Probably gonna give him a smoochy smooch, but no, none of that. Wario got a smooch from Shokora in the last game. He doesn't need that. What he needs is money. He came here for money. He got his bottomless coin sack, and look how happy Wario is. It's such a good ending. Just, oh, here's a smooch. No, get out of here. I came here for treasure, idiot, and I'm getting my treasure. Get on out. You hear her hit a garbage can, and it's so good. Such a good ending to a video game, and no cutscene that comes after this ending could possibly ruin it. So I know that I've probably perfectly masked it thanks to the neutral tone I've maintained throughout this Let's Play, but I think Wario Land Shake, it's a very good game. I think it's pretty damn good. The animation, it's so good. It's probably one of the nicest looking games ever. Like, there's a lot of games with like really nice looking art styles that are also real fluid, but this one just blew me away when I first saw it. Like, holy shit, this game is so fluid. Like, the animation's so good. You can tell how many frames of animation go into each action because it looks, you feel each frame. It feels pretty good. The soundtrack, so good. Such a good soundtrack. Like, basically every song, and by basically I mean every song on the soundtrack is a winner. And this ending theme, which you can't hear very well thanks to me hooting and hollering about how much I like this game, is my favorite song in the game. It's such a good ending theme. It's great. I love it so much. The gameplay is probably the weakest part of the game, but it's still good. You saw how much fun I had with this video game. It's like saying that this is a bad metaphor. It's like saying the cake is the worst part of a cake. It's like a cake with really, really good icing, and it's a bad metaphor because the icing is always the worst part of the cake, and the cake would be the most important part, like the video game. But that's not important. It was a bad metaphor, and I knew it the second I started saying it. It's a good game. It's pretty damn good. Like, it's fun. I don't know. Hey, you watch this Let's Play. It's a fun game. You know it's a fun game. You can get it on your Nintendo Wii or your Nintendo Wii U. So you should go do that and play it. I really like the Wario Land franchise. It's probably been pretty obvious throughout me Let's Playing every single one of them. When this game came out, I hadn't come around on liking 4 yet, but in between the launch of 4 and the release of this game, I had gone back and played Wario Land 2 and 3 a lot throughout high school and realized how formative they were for me as a person playing them. I got Wario Land 2 at the same time as Pokemon Blue, so you can tell that they kind of occupy similar parts in my heart, except Wario gets the full love of that part, whereas Pokemon has to share it. And here's where the video game sucks now. This is now Captain Syrup comes in and she steals the money because she had a deal with Murphle, and now she's gonna get away. And it's bad because Wario can't just be happy. So damn you, Captain Syrup. And it's so funny because Captain Syrup didn't really have a character previous to this. She was just kind of an antagonistic pirate lady, which, hey, that's pretty damn good already. But with this game, she kind of becomes Fujiko-esque in terms of like her character, where it's like, oh, she seems to have a friendly enough relationship with Wario, but will screw over Wario at the drop of a hat. It's pretty good. As much as I was like, oh, damn her for screwing over our big hunky man, like it's a good ending. It's fun. And we've unlocked boss missions, and we can now see the Murphle thing. So the boss missions, now that we have defeated the Shake King, all bosses now have missions we can complete that weren't there the first time. So things like beat the boss in a certain time limit, don't get hurt. So we're going to have to go do a bunch of boss rematches. And also, we got the ability to see the secret map. So now on the overworld screen, it'll show you like on each level, like, hey, this level has a secret map. And whenever you get to where the secret map is, you'll see sparkles, which is how you're actually supposed to find it in the video game. So we'll be doing bonus levels and boss missions in the upcoming videos. We'll be tackling a world per video until the end of the Let's Play. So I hope you like me smashing my head against boss fights for a while, because that's probably what it's going to be. Before we finish this episode, let's go read what our ill-gotten gains have to say for us. And we'll look at boss emblems last. This time, just this one time, since the last time we'll be seeing boss emblems, and we'll be seeing more treasures as we go through and play the rest of the video game. Hot dog! This little fellow manages to be adorable and mouth-watering at the same time. Crown of ice, a real crown made of Arctic ice. Be careful, wearing it induces ice cream headaches. Aurora Borealis, a robe you can only see in the far north. You should probably wear something underneath it. Vampire's mirror, shows you yourself as a vampire. Vampires don't have reflections, so it's always blank. That's a good joke. Star hammer, leave a star-shaped mark on anything or anyone you hit. Pandora's box, under no circumstance should you open this. But I'll bet there's some neat stuff in there. Pretty good. Let's see our boss emblems. large fry emblem, symbol of the enormous water-breathing chef? I guess he was aquatic. I mean, I don't think ducks breathe under... Shake King emblem, symbol of the dreaded Pirate King. I mean, the treasures were funnier, but we're not going to see any more boss emblems, so hey.